Hey everyone, Comics for Thomas here. This is my first video of 2020. I normally try to put a video around every 2 weeks. It's been about 3 weeks. I've been very busy, as I think most people have, with Christmas and so on. And the New Year has just been busy already for me. But I've got a bit of a stack of books here finally. I had ordered some books on Christmas Day actually, and on a site that I use that was having a sale, and they started Christmas Day, which is pretty neat. So everyone's kind of clamoring to get an order in there. I've got a couple books from my LCS, one that I picked up off their back wall I want to talk about, and then just some from my pull list. And then I traveled a little bit yesterday to meet up with a guy who I went through some of his comics. I got a very good book. This is a reason why I went to see him, and then he had some extras that I wanted to pick up as well. So I'm going to show you all that. I wanted to mention that I am working on, and pardon me, I have a bit of a cold. So if I'm sniffing a lot, I apologize. I am going to be recording a 2020 Wantlist video. It's going to be a little bit late, as one, I've never edited any of my videos before, and two, I just haven't had any time. And funny enough, like I said, I've got 2 books already off of that list, which is pretty awesome. But when I make that video, I'm actually going to have those on the list. They're just going to be, I'm going to scratch them off, which is pretty fantastic. One I have in hand right now I'll be showing you today. And then one is coming. I found a good price on eBay. So let's get into some books. This first book I grabbed just off the rack, I think a week ago. It is The Kill Lock, #1 by IDW. It's a pretty good story. I like the art as well. The very back page, it kind of tells you about, and I can't remember the, I think he's the writer and the artist. Can't remember his name, but he has like a site, or you can go on Instagram and so on, and you can kind of say what you felt about the book. He's been working on it for his own little project for a while. I'm doing it in between, other writing and drawing jobs that he's been doing for a comic company, so it's pretty neat. There is going to be some glare in here. So the room that I'm in right now is a spare bedroom that we have here in our townhouse, and we've decided to, the girlfriend and I have decided to kind of take back this room. Right now it's basically a glorified laundry room, and it's a place for our 4 cats to wreak havoc. My comics are in here. They're all in boxes and stuff like that, which is fine, except for they get on top of the boxes. They like to sleep on them. There's cardboard boxes, as everyone knows. They haven't scratched them, but eventually they might become scratch pads. So we kind of want to turn this room into a cat-free room where I can do videos, have a good place for my comics, actually display some of my comics, because I can't really display any of my bigger books anywhere because they'll go after them. Not on purpose. It's cat. And you see a shelf, they knock things off, right? So, and we can't even keep plants around the house either because they like to chew those. So this will kind of be a plant / comic / office room. So I apologize for any glare or graininess. The room's still a bit of a mess too. That's why I've just got a little desk here and sitting here. I say I'm sick, but I'm also having a stout at 4 in the afternoon, so it's great. Now, on the back wall at my LCS, I saw this comic right before Christmas, and I've always kind of wanted to read it. I have Marvel Unlimited, so you can probably see just from there what book it is, but I've always kind of wanted to read it. I know it was a short series anyways, and they had it on for a good price. It was better price than what you could find it on eBay or anywhere else, and plus no shipping where you're picking up. And I want to support my LCS, so this is a very good copy of Vision #1. Try to, maybe like that. Maybe I'll just angle them a little bit so you guys can see them. So I bought it, and then read #1 on Marvel Unlimited. It's excellent, and I've already finished the series reading it. Pardon me. It's really good. I suggest reading it. I didn't realize how good it was going to be. I'd heard that it was good, but like I loved every single one. I went on to the CLZ app to kind of, and through eBay and stuff like that, check out what the covers are like, and what some of the variant covers, and there's a lot of really nice covers and variant covers. I'm actually going to slowly, over time, I'm going to put together this run because there's only 8 issues, I believe, and then some of the variants. Yeah, so check it out if you can. So, pull list. X-Men number 4. Another Leinil Francis Yu cover. Great cover, great story. I do agree with everyone. The first couple of issues of the main title have been a little, I don't know. They seem like filler issues. This one really had some meat to it. Last one too. So, and I'm not currently reading any of the other 5 that are along with it. So, I will probably digitally at some point. I picked up Thor number 1. This is the Donny Cates run. This is a variant. I don't remember who does the variant. It's a cool variant, but there was by the time when this came out, I wasn't able to go to my LCS until Friday, and I didn't ask them to put one in my bin. So this is the better cover of the 2 that were there. So I'm not a huge fan, I'll be honest, of this little crown thingy that he's. I don't know if you can see it, that little black crown, because in far distance it just looks like he's like a blonde guy with long hair with really, really dark painted on eyebrows. I don't know. But besides that, everything's good. Really good read. There's some Galactus stuff that's incredible in there. Just awesome. So I'm looking forward. I haven't added it to my pull list yet, but yeah, I have a feeling I will. I liked all the Jason Aaron Thor stuff, so continue on. It should be good. Here is Ascender number 8. This is the only thing on my pull list that I'm currently not reading at all. I still have not finished Descender, but I'm putting together all of the issues of Descender slowly through back issues and so on. So once I've finally not collected them all, but read them all, like Comixology and stuff like that, then I'll start Ascender, but at least I'll already have the issues. So, Strange Skies over East Berlin. This is issue number 4. This has been a very good series. I believe this is the final issue. Very cool story. I've not read this issue yet either, but I will. Oblivion Song is number 23. I've been collecting this since issue 1, and it's been very good. The second volume, or the second, not volume, but I guess series or whatever you want to call it. The second half has been excellent. They're really getting into it. So, geez, you can see the way I have the camera, you can kind of see the books before they're coming. So I'm going to back. I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? Christmas Day. As I mentioned, I ordered some books from this. Basically, it's the authenticated dealer that I send my books away to get graded. He has a comic shop in Ontario, and he moves some stuff here. He has an online site as well, which I order a lot of books from, and then some of them I basically buy them, and at some point I send them back to him to be pressed and graded, sent away, and then sent back to me. So last year I did the same thing where he had this sale, and on Christmas Day I figured no one's going to go in there. It's Christmas Day, and so I kind of took my time that day, and I went to order the books, and it automatically, boop, no, those ones have already been ordered. So I did get some last year, but this year I learned my lesson. I planned beforehand, and I got every single one that I wanted. Basically, I did an order because the shipping are in increments of 4, so you can ship for more by the shipping cost, right? So one set costs whether you're ordering 1 book or 4. So try to always order 4 of them. So I took my first 4, and those are the more expensive books, which are not that expensive, but to get them at half off, it was literally half off for them, was great. And then I ordered a second set of 4 that were literally just $2 and $3 books. The second set of 4 cost me $6, and there was no shipping on it because he had said, any orders past, if you do a second order or 3 or 4, etc., at least one of those orders he'll waive the shipping on. So I only had to pay shipping on the 8 books, so it was pretty great. So everyone's going to know this book. This is Avengers number 12. Iron Man and the Infinity Gauntlet. Great looking book. I honestly never knew about this book until 2019, when Endgame was being talked about a lot in the books that were, kind of based on. I've always had my eye on this book. I've said it before, I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but I love anything to do with the black suit. This is Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, number 101. That is an awesome cover. And I am coming around to Spider-Man. I like him a lot more than I used to. And there are some really great covers. So my want list will have a couple of Spider-Man covers on it too. This is Captain Marvel. This is The Life of Captain Marvel, number 1, Virgin variant, Adam Hughes cover. Look at that. That thing is fantastic. I can see myself grading all 3. Well, even the next one. This one would probably be personal collection. The other 2, we'll see. Great covers, great books, but I could probably move those as well for some value because all these are in great condition. And this is the 4th one of that first order. This is the newest Guardians of the Galaxy series, but this is a variant. It is, I can't remember who does the variant, but it's so friggin' nice, and this would be a PC book. Look at that. That old school Star-Lord. I'm a huge Star-Lord fan. And then Groot. I love it. And then the smaller order, which kind of helped fill some runs. Annihilation Conquest Star-Lord, number 3 of 4. And when I first got the book, I never noticed before, but I was like, what is all this? It looks wet. And no, it's the smoke from his barrel. It's fantastic. I love this too, how it's heating up. Because these are elemental guns, right? So, or at least they should be. Great looking cover. Annihilation Super Skrull, number 1 of 4. I have the other 3, so pretty great to fill that run. Yeah, I mean, it's 4 books, but series, I guess. Anything Annihilation, I'm going to grab it. This variant cover, basically, I'm not going to be able to tell you. I'm so fuzz-brain right now of who are doing most of these variants. But I had my eye on this one. This is simply a cover buy. It's very, very cheap too. It is a variant of Avengers number 35. Look at that. The world here. Ugh. I know the glare sucks, but that's a great cover. And again, like I said, I'm warming up to Spider-Man. This is Web of Spider-Man, double-size annual number 1. And that's a fantastic cover. Sorry if you guys hear some noise outside too. We had a bit of an ice storm today and going into tonight. And I believe that there's some plowing going on outside, just as I wanted to do this video. In fact, this is the 4th time I've tried to record it because I let the kitten in here. And every time I would get like 3 minutes in and she just wreak havoc. I love her, but she's energetic. So, last week on Facebook Marketplace, I saw a book that I've wanted for a very long time, especially recently because of what I've been reading, and for a good price. It's about a 40-minute drive from here in Oromocto, New Brunswick, because I'm in St. John's, so it's about around 45-minute drive. Good price, and so I messaged him. Said, hey, would you mind taking it down a little bit too? Because obviously you always kind of want a wheel and deal. I'm not going to try to like undercut you too much, but still. And right away, yeah, no problem. I said, great. I'm in St. John. I can drive up there. Can you wait about a week? Yeah, no problem as well. So I went yesterday, but he had messaged me through the week and said, basically what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of, a lot of my comics. and if you want to come in and take a look when you get here and see if there's anything else you want to buy. And then he messaged me again yesterday before I came up and said, hey, I found this other kind of key book. If you're interested for a really good price as well. I said, yeah, I automatically take that one. Then I went to his house, and he had 2 short boxes and a long box of comics. And he said, just go through them, take out what you want, and we'll work out a price. So, and the price was very, very good for the amount of comics I got. And some of them, don't get me wrong, some of them are not in super great condition, but they're just cool books to have. Some of them might just end up in a dollar bin at some point. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sell some comics at my first expo at an expo for the first time this year in Moncton, New Brunswick, which is about an hour and a half away from here. I went to it last year, so the applications to apply to get a table haven't been out yet, but it's not like it's not huge, so it should be pretty easy for me to get a table. So I kind of want to also have, like, if I can pick up a nice stack of books for cheap and just throw them in, like I'd like to have like a short box of like 50-cent or $1 books, whatever, right? So I ended up with like, I don't even know, like 25 or 26 extra books from him on top of the two pretty key books. So we're just gonna go through them. So again, conditions can vary. This is Avengers 234. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, or if you want to follow me on Instagram at Comics for Thomas, you're going to see a lot of these books and a lot of stuff I post. I haven't posted the big one that I got yesterday, just because I want to do this video first. So, but that's a very cool cover. It's pretty cool to find this. Guardians of the Galaxy #1. I think this is from 1990. I love the old Guardians of the Galaxy as well. So you'll probably see on my list, I actually want to get their first appearance, which I don't remember what book it was in, but I think it's obtainable. I got some Spider-Man 2099 #1. Like, the math on all this averaged out to, like, I don't know, besides the big book and then the other key book, I'm literally like maybe $1 book, maybe 50 cents. And I got the other 2 books on value as well. This was pretty neat. He had a 4-pack of it's Second and Charles, I think, is the bookstore. Second and Charles variants for 4 Star Wars books, and they're all Phil Noto covers, which I love Phil Noto. And right away I was like, holy crap, these are awesome. So this is Star Wars #4, Phil Noto. This is Star Wars Darth Vader #4. That's awesome. Pardon me. Star Wars Princess Leia #3. Very cool. And then Star Wars Kanon, The Last Padawan #1. Phil Noto. Those are just wicked. All right, let's keep going. This might be not a lengthy video, but probably a half hour by the time I'm done. This is not in great condition. I grabbed it anyways, just because it's cool book, cool cover. As everyone knows, the Spider-Man #1. This is the black and silver cover. I was very happy about this. I've seen this before. This is Carnage #1 of 5. This is the Clayton Crane cover. Look at that. That's awesome. I've seen I've seen online this series, those covers, and some of them are fantastic. Like, Clayton Crane is just wicked. Oh yeah. I think everybody knows this book, Avengers 223. I think I have like a really crappy copy of this, like a really low grade, and this is probably like a 4. So it's on that verge of a low to mid. This is pretty low grade as well, actually. I mean, a pressing would help, but I'm not. It's not. There's no actual big value to it. It's just an awesome cover. This is the Falcon #2. Anything with the Sentinels or Galactus, anything like the just giant characters, especially on the cover, just is awesome. So I always pick those up. Let's see. I haven't even had time to bag and board some of these. This is Spider-Verse, The Amazing Spider-Man Part 5. This is kind of neat. This is another Star Wars pack, and it's the Star Wars. So I'm going to show them in a different order just so you can kind of get an idea of what series this is in case you've ever seen it. This is from Dark Horse. The Star Wars, this is number 2. This is number 3. And then number 1 was in here too. Don't get me wrong, there's spine text and stuff like that. Like, some of these books weren't even in bags, so it was kind of like that type of collection. But again, super cheap. But it's a variant, or a Virgin variant. This is number 1. That's a pretty awesome Virgin variant. Don't get me wrong, you can see just in the video what the spine looks like. I mean, I'm sure there's not a whole lot of value to this, but I love Virgin variants and I love Star Wars, so you had me at hello. Just fix that up later. This is not a good copy, and I really wish it was, because this is one of those Spider-Man covers that I actually really like. It's very, very unique, and I grabbed it anyways, but like, it is like not in good condition for being like a pretty modern book. So this is a Spider-Man 700. I think everybody knows that cover. So I don't know. I have it great, but I mean, you can't really see it, but it's pretty torn up. So that's what you also get for looking at comics in a guy's garage. That, you know, he doesn't necessarily keep them all in great condition, but he had some good ones. This is Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Man Noir, number 1. Go the glare. Spider-Man 2099, number 2, but this will be obviously a later volume than the one I showed you earlier. Cool cover. Popping up here. Let's see here. Anyway, so this is Guardians Team Up, number 1. Ignore the price tag on this. This is not the price tag because this is not the bag. I actually ran out of bags, and I was rebagging and boarding a couple of them that didn't have boards. So I just threw it in here, so ignore this. But cool cover, Guardians, all the Avengers. I already have this book, X-O Manowar. This is number 0. This is the foil cover. I've got a couple of them. Grab them when you see them. Guardians of the Galaxy number 20, the original team. Pretty cool. These are not in great condition either, but it's cool to kind of own them. Beware the Spider-Woman number 13. So basically out of her first volume. I have Spider-Woman number 1 already. I'd like to get her first appearance though. And this is issue number 21 of the same series. Kind of cool. I don't mind low grade or mid grade books anyways. I like everything. So this is Marvel Tales starring Spider-Man number 149, Unmasked by the Dr. Octopus. I feel like I saw somebody post this book before, so it's kind of neat. I recognized it right away. It's one of those things too, if you're ever just looking in, everyone knows, you're looking in bins, if you see Spider-Man stuff, you grab it because it's, I mean, it's going to sell if you don't want it. There always could be some value. I actually didn't really look at this one very well. This one is in terrible condition, so I don't even know if it would sell. Marvel Tales starring Spider-Man number 147. Because I was just flipping through quickly too, and like, look at this. Like, that's all that white, and it's torn over here. It's not in good condition. Spider-Verse, The Amazing Spider-Man Part 1. Very nice cover. And we're getting down to the end of it here. So this is the book that he messaged me about yesterday and said, hey, I found this first appearance in my collection. Sent me a picture. I was like, all right, cool, I'm definitely interested. I figure it's with, like, just based on the picture, you can tell it's needs a press, and might be like a mid-grade, and that's what he had said too. So that was kind of nice. He was like, yeah, it's probably like a 4 or 5 depending on what you do with it. So he definitely knew, and he wasn't that old either. Like he maybe like 18 or 19. So I think he had been collecting, like him and his father might have been collecting comics. I kind of met him for a minute as well. So I went on eBay just to kind of gather some prices, and I know I keep referencing eBay, but these are quick. I'm not looking for the value of the comic down the line. I'm looking eBay is a quick reference to go, how much am I going to pay for it now, and how much is shipping going to be? Because if I can buy it somewhere local and save on shipping, it's not going to cost me $80 in gas, then great, and so on and so on. And like that Vision, I didn't need to buy that Vision number one that I showed from my LCS, but one, the price was under anything I saw on eBay, and two is free pickup, right? So this is King Size Annual Avengers number 10, the first appearance of Rogue. And he gave it to me for $10 Canadian. So there's definitely value there. I can get that pressed, I can get that graded, and I'm sure that comes back at a 4 or 5. Honestly, maybe even a 5. So I haven't opened it up and looked through the pages yet, but nothing wrong with that. And then the big one. This is kind of neat. So when I saw it online, going into January, not a people are can't even speak. Not a lot of people are spending money, so it's a good time to happen to see people that are trying to sell books. No, I don't got a lot of extra money sitting around, but I also have a birthday coming up in February, early February. Even though I'm well past wanting birthday gifts, my family still wants to get me gifts. And I like giving them gifts, so I understand. But I'd rather just, like, let's get together and go eat, or stay home and let's eat, or let's go to a movie, etc., etc. But they're insistent, so I said, well, you know what? Why don't you just give me like, $10-15 towards a comic that I'll put towards. And same with my girlfriend. She's like, oh, what are we gonna do for your birthday? I'm like, let's go to supper. If you want to buy me something, just help me pay for like a key book. Well, then this came up, so I mentioned it to them, and they said, yeah, that's great. So half the book got paid for just through that alone. So, and even this week I had, because you guys know I do raffles. I go in raffles and sliders through a group that I'm in with on Facebook or whatever, and I had raffled off a couple books that brought in a little bit of money too, because I really want to focus this year on, if I'm buying books off my list or like for my PC, then I want to try to pay for some of that with books that I don't want anymore. Anyways, so saw the picture, took a look. It doesn't really matter what the condition looked like because it's already graded, so I know what the condition is. I right away could tell. You could tell even by the picture, like this wasn't pressed before it got graded, and it's CBCS. So my thinking was, one, get the price down a little bit, go and pick it up at some point, and it doesn't have to be anytime soon. Crack it, send it away, get it pressed, get it graded by CGC. Chances are I move it up a half point to a point, and I already have good value on it. I got this for under what even raw copies are going for right now, or at least not when I say going for, I mean that are attempting to be sold on eBay, because there's a difference between sold price and selling for. But if you're looking to go do a quick buy, I don't care what it was sold for. I care what people are trying to sell for it right now. And if I can find under that, then yeah, I'm going to get it. Compared to if I'm trying to sell a book, I'm looking at, okay, well, how much is it being sold? I want to price it under that, so that, and or price it under what people are trying to sell, to try to price things to sell. Anyways, I'm going to show you this book. It's Avengers number 57. First appearance of the Vision. And it's kind of funny because I've been reading that series. I love this book, and I love low grade for older books. This is 1968. I've got my Silver Surfer 1 that came back as a 1.8. I know I have this, and I honestly think he doesn't clean. The guy, the authenticated dealer, doesn't do cleaning, but he does pressings. Um, so it could probably be clean, but I'm not even messing with that. But a press and then CGC, probably 2.5 or 3. So friggin' awesome. And it's literally on my want list. So this is an awesome birthday gift. Just an awesome book. So I'm not going to tell you about the other book that is on my want list that I've already picked up from eBay because it's not here yet. So you'll just see it in another video. Or I'm going to talk about it in the video that I post about my want list. So we're at pretty much 31 minutes. I really appreciate everybody watching this video. Thank you for your patience, as I have not pulled out in a bit. Oh yeah, and he, funny enough, he gave me a reader copy of a reprint from like 1980 or something like that. He's like, oh, here you go, just in case you want to read it. It's like, awesome, man. So hopefully you'll be seeing the want list video coming out soon. And I normally like to throw a couple shout outs. I jumped into a couple live chats this weekend. I was on one today with it was 5 people in it. Just a little podcast was there. Hi Labro, Conquistadors, Javi. I'm not saying any of this right. I just need to take more medicine for my cold. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm pretty active on there. If you want to message me about and just talk comics, I love it. Hit me up anytime. Comics for Thomas on Instagram. Or you can email me at Conway, CONWAYJR@hotmail.com. If you like the video, please hit like. If you don't, go ahead and hit dislike. It doesn't matter to me. And if you want to subscribe, I do this every few weeks and just talk about the books I got. So thank you.